everyone, and welcome to episode 108 of the Video Games Ahoy Podcast.
Yay!
I'm your host, Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by Dav Weeks.
Hello!
Yeah, Dav, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. We had some technical issues, so instead of the last couple of weeks where we bailed, we've just gone, you know what, let's just do it old school. So we're going to record it and pop it online in a little bit.
You know that, was it John O'Reilly going like, we'll do it live! We'll do it live! We can't do it live.
Yeah, can't do it live. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. It's something to do with, like, there was an update to OBS a couple of days ago. I think Davgate recommended trying something else. So maybe I'll try something else other than OBS. But ever since that update, I just can't do it. Just literally can't. It won't stream, which is so annoying. But we will at least be able to do a couple more episodes, like in this style, and hopefully things will get back up and running. Dav, how are you doing? How are things?
I'm very well. I'm really good, thanks. Busy little bee.
You're a busy boy.
Which is lovely.
Playing in rehearsals at the moment as one of the sexy dwarves, if I remember correctly.
It's Snow White and the Sexy Dwarves. Yes, the producers don't know it yet, but that's what we'll call it.
Snow White and the Sexy Dwarves is already the best title we might have come up with in years. Snow White and the Sexy Dwarves.
I am going to like graffiti the marquee when we open and just paint that on it.
Amazing. Dab, should we just get into it? Because there's quite a few stories, actually, quite a few news stories. And I kind of want to get your opinions on a few things, because that's what we do. That's what we like to do. We like to get opinions. Some of these stories are a little bit old because we've been trying to do the podcast for the last 3 weeks to no avail. So apologies. We're going to start off with the Game Awards, because that actually might be relevant, because I think the Game Awards are in like 9 days.
Ooh, nice.
Did you? I don't know if you've checked up on the Game Awards, if you know all the games that have been nominated, but I will mention the first 6, and then I'll ask Dav a couple of questions about who he thinks are going to get what.
Right.
So, up for Game of the Year: A Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So there's 3 I would have guaranteed on my list. There's 1 I was fairly certain was going to be on that list. And then there's 2 that I am genuinely quite shocked are on the list.
Right.
I want you to guess. So which of the 3 you thought that I was guaranteed?
You were guaranteeing Elden Ring, God of War, and I'm going to guess you were guaranteeing Horizon.
I was guaranteeing Horizon. So then there's 1 game after that, which I was fairly certain was going to get in there, but I wasn't sure. So the 3 that are left is Plague Tale, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Is it Plague Tale? I'll be honest, I know nothing about Plague Tale, apart from people who do like it. Yeah,
I've not had a chance to play it yet. I have downloaded it on my Xbox, but I've not had a chance to play it yet. No, it was Xenoblade. So I was convinced.
I thought you were considering it an underdog.
It's such a good game. And it's not been like the biggest year in terms of games. I was like, I got a feeling it's going to sneak on there. So I was really, really happy it did. I'm quite shocked that Stray is on there. I'll be honest.
There's a lot of cat lovers clearly in the panel voting this. I mean,
maybe just a lot of cats.
They're all voting away.
Yeah, they're all voting.
There you go, clicking with their meowses.
Hey! Well, maybe that's a better one than Snow White and the Sexy Dwarves. We've already got 2 amazing titles here.
Well, always appreciate a pun. So
clicking with their meowses.
Weird context.
Oh, brilliant. Yep.
No beef against Stray, but I am quite surprised it's down for Game of the Year.
Man, I completed it. I loved it. It's not Game of the Year like quality. It's good, but like
I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to Elden Ring. Let's be honest. But as an achievement
but even then, like I think there's still other indie games that have probably done better. Like Monkey Island, like that had better reviews than Stray and did more interesting things. And I'm like, it's an Kirby and the that's better than Stray. It is like I love Stray, and I know it's subjective and all these things, but like I do think Kirby is a better game. I do think it is. Again, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a weird one. I do think Elden Ring is going to sneak it. I'll be honest.
I don't even think it's sneaking it. I think it's taking it easily.
Well,
it's going to hold it above the rest of them going, oh, you want this?
Well, this is the thing. I would have said that before I played God of War Ragnarok.
Fair.
And
Okay.
the issue I've got is that, in my eyes, God of War Ragnarok is better than the first game, and the first game won the Game of the Year. So
interesting.
I think Elden Ring will win. I do think it'll win, but I'd love to see how close it's going to be. I think it's going to be closer than we would be led on, even though I do think Elden Ring is going to win.
I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. I think what Elden Ring has achieved is crazy.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't see what else they could have done in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like they chucked everything at that bad boy, and it all stuck. It all just, every single element of it is spot on as far as I'm concerned.
No, that's it. The thing is that I do expect it to win. Like, I'm not expecting, because if God of War Ragnarok was the first game in the God of War series, I'd say it would be even closer. But the fact that it's a sequel, the fact that the first game won the Game of the Year anyway, I don't think it will win. But I think God of War Ragnarok is legitimately awesome. Yeah, it is so good. I haven't played Elden Ring. I can only go by what people have said, but I do expect it to win anyway. But yeah, do you know what? We go back to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 though. That is probably my game of the year. That's the game. Even though I love God of War Ragnarok, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is, I guess, a bit more niche. No, wow, it is more niche, but it probably is my game of the year. I think, you know, like, it's just one of those things. Do you know when you play a game, it doesn't always happen, but you play a game and then you can think of nothing else for like days after it. Like, when I beat Xenoblade Chronicles 3, all I could hear was the music. That's actually what I was going to say. I forgot about this. The Game of the Year nominees get the Game of the Year orchestra. So that is actually why I wanted Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on there. It's because I get to hear that music in full flow, because it is just spectacular. It's bloody lush. Bloody lush.
I see it's also nominated for Best Music. It is.
So best score music.
You might even get a win there.
I think it's got a good chance, because you got God of War is also on there. Metal Hellsinger, Elden Ring is also on there. I can't speak for Elden Ring. I don't know how good it is, and the Plague Tale as well. Also can't speak for that. But from the two games, I mean, God of War Ragnarok is like epic, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is just it's like 15 hours worth of music, just 15 hours worth of tracks. It's just insane. It's so good, so good. Nice. But yeah, I think that's happening on the 8th. I'm fairly certain that's happening on the 8th. I don't have the date in front of me, but I think it's happening on the 8th. Anyway,
December 8th.
Perfect. Yes, I'm really excited. That is this, not next week. I think it's the week after, because it's the 30th today. So really, only 8 days away from it. It's going to be awesome. Really, really, really awesome. I can't wait. I won't step to watch it because it's usually like 4:00 in the morning, but I'll catch it in the morning. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited for the trailers the day after, because obviously, like, they go bonkers crazy, which is
of course. I've heard hints of what Nintendo might be revealing, but whispers. But we always get that every time there's a big event.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't even know why we even bother commenting anymore.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
It is insane. Dad, before we move on, most anticipated. So I'm going to ask you, which of these games are you most anticipated by? These are the ones that are actually on the list. So you've got Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Right. Most times you'd give me a list with Final Fantasy on it, I would probably pick Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
How could I not be excited about Legend of Zelda?
Yeah.
Come on.
I will be honest. I don't really care about Hogwarts Legacy, but all of those games I'm like incredibly excited for. Like, genuinely, like straight up just
Resident 4 even, man.
Resident Evil 4, Starfield, Final Fantasy 16. Like, next, if those games land next year, that, like, what a year. That's gonna be amazing. Like, I'm so excited. I'm very hyped. I'm very excited, is what I'm saying. Cool. Let's move on. Did you watch the new trailer for the Mario Bros movie?
I did.
Right. What did you think?
Fine.
I actually loved it. Weirdly,
yeah?
I actually genuinely, I sat there going, I think I'm more excited watching that than I was the first time. And I actually really enjoyed the first trailer.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed the fact that like they've used Luigi as the damsel in distress, and
Yes.
I just think that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I seriously don't criticize the trailer,
No.
because it does look fun. I just don't think it's gonna melt my little brain.
No.
It looks like a fun little romp. I'll watch it once, go, ha, nice. A bit like the Simpsons movie,
Yeah, Simpsons movie's great. Like, it's surprisingly
great, good fun. Watch it once or twice.
Yeah,
great. I liked it. Done.
What I'm hoping for with this though is like it's one of those films like, because me and Rosie are probably going to go to the cinema to watch it because I'm genuinely excited by it. And this is the first Mario Brothers film was not what Nintendo wanted. This is the first. This thing feels like the first one they've really wanted. So like I'm really intrigued by that. And there was so many nods to like things that have happened in the past.
I think that's it. It's all those nods. It's all those little kind of, hey, remember this? Or hey, look at this little Easter egg. It's like written for Easter eggs.
Yeah, man. Another thing we saw Rainbow Road because they were driving Mario Kart.
They got in carts
and drove on Rainbow Road.
Like,
it was
let's
awesome.
acknowledge our pedigree here.
Yeah.
Let's break any fourth wall here. Let's suspend full disbelief.
Yep.
This is purely fan service.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Yeah. They had Donkey Kong. They had Cranky Kong.
Yeah.
Cranky Kong was there.
To be fair, Donkey Kong beating up Mario was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
Although that has never happened to me in Smash.
There was just there was a few nods that I was just really like, okay, I'm liking this. We got to see Peach for the first time. She's badass, and I really appreciate that because
remind me who's playing Peach?
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh, I could not think for the life of me who was doing the voice.
It was really funny because they've been doing these like interviews with people like beforehand, be like, and now I'm going to introduce you to Peach. And Peach did it, and I honestly thought she was just in a bathroom or something, like because there was like an echo, and she was just like in the corner going like, "Hi, I'm Peach. It's gonna be fun." And then you came to Seth Rogen, and Seth Rogen was like, "Hi, I named my dog after Zelda," and it's like that's just
actually giving a shit.
Yeah, like it's just really funny, really funny. But I'm really excited.
Oh, the one little thing, Chris Pratt saying "Let's a go."
Oh,
he tickled me like "Let's a go." It's just like there we were going, hey, it's me, Mario. He basically did that in this trailer.
He did.
Hey, let's a go.
But weirdly, I actually think Charlie Day as Luigi really does work. I thought it really did work.
It's funny.
It kind of like just I guess that voice in itself is so specific. It's Charlie Day when he talks, but it did work for Luigi.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Mario movie out next year. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Not like crazy, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. Oh my god, it's coming out! Excited.
No, it's just like it'll be a laugh, and let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Not even they are expecting to get the Oscar for Best Animated Picture. I'm sure
that would be very impressive. They did.
This is not high art. This is just a little romp, okay? And anyone who wants more than that, don't bother. You lower your expectations. What's the point? It's a fun little silly.
Wait for the Kirby movie if that's what you want.
There we go. That'll be hard hitting. Oh my god, they're going to get.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a Terrence Malick 5-hour epic. That.
Movie. Yeah. But yeah, Mario movie. Pretty excited. Dab, are you a fan of Pokemon?
I am a lukewarm fan of Pokemon.
Well, it feels like we are the two perfect people to talk about it because
this is business Pokemon Stadium.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
There we go.
Let's
completely rinse Pokemon for the people who actually like it.
I feel like Zach somewhere in this world is just getting like a twinge of like where's that pain coming from? It's because me and you are talking about Pokemon. We're actually going to talk about the sales of Pokemon because that feels like it's more important. But it's weird because all the reviews I've seen of Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet, I should add, because we're just saying Pokemon at the moment. Scarlet and Violet are that the game runs like trash. It runs.
So I hear
badly,
all over the shop, like BioShock levels of glitch.
Well,
not BioShock,
Cyberpunk,
Fallout, Cyberpunk, and Fallout.
Yes,
I've watched way too many clips of glitches in Fallout, which tickle me no end.
Well, this is the funny thing because like. It is one of those things where like people got really mad with Cyberpunk, like really mad.
Oh.
There seems to be as many issues with Pokemon as there were with Cyberpunk, which I just find really funny.
But they're not. But Nintendo aren't going to come out and apologize like they did for Cyberpunk.
No, they're not going to offer refunds. I don't do refunds at Nintendo. What are you talking about?
No, this is what you get and you'll like it. That's how it works. This is the relationship we have.
Yep.
You just eat up everything we give you, regardless of quality.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. But yeah, what else was there? There was so basically the reason I brought it up is because it sold so Scarlet and Violet sold 10 million copies in the first 72 hours.
Wow.
Which is crazy. I did have a story on you last week about God of War sold 3 million units in like its first 3 days, and everyone's like, wow. And then this did
at Pokemon were like
triple that. Yeah, literally triple that. It's just like, what do you do about that? Like, it's already in the top 10 best-selling games on the Switch after 3 days.
That is bonkers. Like, I mean, I know I'm not the demographic now. I know that. But, like, I don't even think I remember hearing the hype for this the way other Pokemon games have gone out. No. That might just be me being in my own little bubble.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember the people screaming for this the way they scream for Sword and Shield.
Agreed.
For
Arceus.
Arceus had so much more hype. And then these two come out and everyone's like, oh yeah, new Pokemon.
Yeah, a new Pokemon. Everyone's saying it runs like shit, and then it sells 10 million copies. It's the weirdest strange one. It's really bizarre.
Do you have the numbers for Sword and Shield? I'm quite curious.
I don't. I think I don't, off the top of my head, I think they're on 20 million, which is still obviously amazing. But like, I mean, it's interesting because the two people I spoke to that have actually bought the game and like Pokemon, I haven't had a chance to speak to Callum about it, is Dav and my brother, and they both love the game. They both love the game. They both say the glitches. Yeah, which, you know, it is one of those things where, you know, the glitches, when the glitches get patched out, then, you know, the people playing it further on the line won't see them, so they'll just have the experience of it. It just feels weird with a Pokemon company and Game Freak in general. It's just, they have all that money. And I think the thing that kind of like made me laugh a little bit was like, people are blaming the Switch for being old. And I'm like, you do realize Xenoblade Chronicles 3 came out like 3 months ago and looks way better and bigger. Yeah. It's a bigger game.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's an excuse, especially because Breath of the Wild looks so good as well.
Well, this is it. The Pokemon guys are phoning it in a bit.
A little bit.
They are. I mean, Arceus as well. I just remember, you know, it's not a pretty game.
No.
It's just big blocky colors.
And to be fair, there's something to be said.
Texture.
There's something to be said as well about the fact that, you know, Game Freak do tend, you know, they put the games out a lot more regularly. I mean, it feels like we've had a Pokemon game every year for the last like 6 years.
Sure, but in that case, surely it's time to calm down.
Or at least, I know they've split their dev team, because one part of the dev team was working on Arceus and one was working on Scarlet and Violet. But get more people. Like, you've got the money. Just it's not. I feel kind of sad because this feels like it could have been a better experience. Even though some people are really enjoying it, and even though some people are saying it's like awesome, it doesn't. It also isn't good enough. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense.
Like, here's the thing, like, a bit of glitching, I don't mind. Like, some of my favorite games, like, I nostalgically remember being glitchy as hell as well.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know, or games that even aren't technically great games, but I love them.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, and it's fine if people like it for that, but I don't like the idea of the company relying on the consumer to think that.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially
because if it happens, but...
I think it's just as well, because I think the issue probably more is that this seems to be a theme with Game Freak. This isn't like a one-off. This has been a couple of games where it's like, it could be better. Why isn't it running better? How have you not managed to do it yet? Like I said, though, going back to it, people I know who've got the game absolutely love it. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. If you can ignore those things, then more power to you.
Well, yeah, true.
I haven't played them, so I can only go by what has been said. And what I've seen does look bad. Even some guy, I went to Argos today to buy my sister some presents, and some guy saw that I was buying something to do with the Switch, and he was just like, "Oh, do you like Pokemon?" I was like, "Not really. I used to." He's like, "Oh, can I show all these bugs?" Random guy at Argos
just wanted to show off the bugs.
How many bugs are in Pokemon? I just thought that was really funny. So I was just like, "Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's bad." Do you know what isn't bad though, Dav? Extra courses on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That shows all this this podcast news has been. Yeah, let's just run through them really quickly. So we got Tour London Loop, GBA Boo Lake, 3DS Rock Mountain, Wii Maple Treeway, Tour Berlin Byways, DS Peach Gardens, Merry Mountain, and 3DS Rainbow Road. There are some like two on there in particular, Peach Gardens and Maple Treeway are absolute bangers, like genuinely bangers. I also love the Rainbow Road for the 3DS as well. Yeah. I kind of like it when they do the tour games. Kind of like it.
Yeah, I like it because I've never seen them before. You know.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of what they're doing, really, isn't it? Because I imagine they've gone, oh, these amount of people play the tour, but all of these millions of people don't, and probably never will or never have, which is me. I've never played that, and I love Mario Kart. So why don't we just give them new maps? It does make sense because all they're doing is just moving it from here to here. Even if they got to rebuild it, it's not like they got to go from scratch. They've got the bare bones of what they need. Yeah. So, but are you excited for any of those in particular? Any of those jump up for you?
Yeah, it's Peach's Castle is one I remember really liking. Maple Treeway actually is one I distinctly remember not liking it.
Oh, interesting.
I'm trying to remember why. It might be is it because there's wigglers in it and I just really
there are
hate wigglers?
I was gonna say maybe it's just because you don't like
I just really
maple.
Yeah, fuck maple.
Yeah,
but no, I think it might be the wigglers that were annoying me. Either that was just one of those ones where you keep falling off. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not. I do like it. I do. But I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying.
Just shout out to Wiggler and why he's a dick. If you've ever, there's a mini game in Mario Party called Don't Wake Wiggler, which is generally one of the most terrifying games ever because it's a sleeping Wiggler and then it wakes up with like a steam coming out and they're like a throbbing red kind of angry face, and it's generally like I hate it.
Every time I think of Wiggler's in Sunshine, right? As well, in Galaxy as well,
Odyssey,
yeah.
Because you can.
I don't recall Wiggler being in 64.
Yeah, and Galaxy actually, but yeah, I don't think there was a Wiggler in 64.
I don't think it was one in 64. No. Don't think there was.
No, but you can chuck a hat in Odyssey on the Wiggler. I remember that, which was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Oh yeah, you can because you scoot out. Then yeah, that's pretty cool. I really also enjoy it. We both did that. But yeah, I like the fact that we're getting more tracks. I think my biggest problem with this with the track, I say my biggest problem is just I just want more 64 tracks because that is that's just purely because that's the nostalgic game I have.
Exactly. It's
for me and you in particular. We grew up like we were perfect age for those games.
I mean, let's be honest. We'd be happy if we just had a complete remake of. Mario Kart 64.
That's why I love
That's fine.
the desert one, Calamari Desert.
Calamari. And Choco Mountain, which quite frankly is a shit level, but they did it good. So I'm really glad they were like, because when they said, "Oh yeah, we're doing Choco Mountain," I was like, "What? That one was crap." It was really brown and horrible and ugly, but they, it's pretty now. Honestly,
and Choco Mountain as well was like notorious in that you could just fall off at any time. At any time you could just fall off, and it was like, no. But yeah, I'm really excited for those. I'm genuinely really, really excited. But yeah, that's it from the news. I try to scoot through that as quickly as we could because there was a lot of stories, and I guess we just had to scoot through them. I'm using scoot a lot. I mean, maybe that's something I'm using more often. But yeah, Dav, have you been playing any games? This will be a short podcast today because basically because I had to do it not live again. I have to like sort out all the assets to do it when it's not live, which is really funny. But yeah, have you played any games recently?
Nothing big. Because of rehearsals, obviously.
Sexy
Dwarf. The toilet game, I suppose.
I love how that's still a thing.
So the game on my phone that I I just have been dicking about on. So basically, I got like a 3-month free trial of Apple Arcade. So I just downloaded some random stuff.
Oh man, have you tried the Final Fantasy Creators one? I can't remember what it's called.
No,
that's on there.
Just reminded me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to download that.
Yeah, definitely download that. I'd love to hear.
I've got about 4 more days, so I'm gonna have to download it quick.
Yeah, definitely
do it right after.
I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. I can't remember what it's called, but definitely have a look at that if you can.
I'll have a look. But I downloaded, talking about Mario Kart, I downloaded I don't know what they call it, but it's basically a Mario Kart clone, but with like Family Guy and American Dad's characters in it and King of the Hill characters.
Nice.
And it's fine. I'm not recommending it, but it's literally the only thing I've played recently that's novel. Because like, yeah, I opened up Hollow Knight again, but I've talked to death about Hollow Knight on this podcast. Nobody else was here. Anything else about Hollow Knight?
That's not a bad thing. Zach, if Zach was here, he'd be telling you to keep talking.
Yeah. I'm doing it second time through now, and I'm a lot better at it second time.
Okay, here's a question then from what you said, so we can kind of like, what is your favorite non-Mario Kart karting game?
Oh, right. Okay. I'm going to say Diddy Kong Racing.
I was just about to say the same thing.
It's very good.
I love Mario Kart 64 nostalgically, but I actually think Diddy Kong Racing is better.
So you are not the only person I've heard this from. I've heard so many people in recent years sharing their love for Diddy Kong Racing. And I'm like, it was a good game. And I'm here. I don't know if I'm being influenced by people saying this now. Like, I'm going to have to play it again side by side to Mario 64 just for fair comparison to avoid being, cynical.
Yeah. No, I get you. Like this, it's not me saying that Mario Kart 64 is shit. It was just more that like when Diddy Kong Racing came out, it did a couple of things that Mario Kart I think should do now. Like one of them is that whole like Crash Bandicoot does it. Crash Bandicoot Racing, I can't remember what it's called. But that whole, you're in a hub world and you drive around your car on the hub world. You did that with Diddy Kong Racing. Right. And I love that because you could do little challenges.
Exactly. An overworld with its own little moments within it.
It was awesome. Yeah. And the racing as well, because you could fly with certain people, you could drive, and you could race the little boat as well.
Which Mario Kart now does.
Yeah. So which is exactly. And I think as well, like they had 3D animation, 3D characters for the actual characters that you were driving as. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I played it.
I believe so. It wasn't just a 2D thing facing the camera.
Well, that's the thing. Mario 64 was just sprites. Just a sprite and the camera. But everything else was 3D, but the races and the characters were sprites, which is, I mean, it's very clever how they did that, but still.
But it's like what I always found funny with like Mario Kart and actually like Mario 64 as well is when the camera's high up and then you notice that all the trees are like 2D. They're just like interlocked 2D ones, and you go, and you only see it.
It's like the trees are just going up there, but then they're just straight up.
Yeah, it's clever how you save memory in these games back in cartridge days.
It is really interesting. I really find that fascinating, actually. Like,
have you ever watched Boundary Breaker?
Yes,
yeah. Love that.
He's
you
awesome.
Get all of those bits, those little tidbits,
and it's really interesting as well because obviously, this might be news to some people, but like this year I became a software developer. That is literally what my job is now. Like, so learning all about like saving memory and all those kinds of things and how this works and how that works, I've obviously now find it like incredibly fascinating, and like seeing all the secrets behind not game development. I don't do that. Best person to talk about that is Dav, but it's really to have that little peek behind the curtain, even if it's not the full thing. It's really fascinating how going like, oh, they would have done this by doing potentially this or that, and it's really cool. But yeah, the one game I was going to say like kart racing wise is because the Simpsons car as well, wasn't there?
There was the Simpsons one.
Because they did everything. They did wrestling, they did kart racing, they did
literally every genre. You've just reminded me of the other kart racer that I did actually enjoy, South Park. South Park Racer.
Yeah.
Was fun. It wasn't
I never
good,
played it.
But it was 1,000,000,001 characters in it. Really, really nice. There was a really horrible level because he did like battle levels as well.
Oh,
where you had to, like, there were eggs. I can't remember what the eggs were from. but you just have to drive around holding onto the eggs and not let anyone else take the eggs.
That's pretty funny.
Narratively speaking, whatever, I don't know what the hell was going on.
That is mad.
It was quite fun. It's all right.
Again, though, with the same with South Park, it was the same as The Simpsons. They had just a million games based off a million different things, and some were decent, some were fun but bad, but some were bad and bad.
Bad. Chefs Love Shack.
Oh my god.
Chefs Love Shack.
I mean, I always remember South Park on the 64, like the South Park game, the like one where you throw snowballs and stuff.
Yeah, the Two-Rock engine.
Yeah. It was a weird game. It's a weird game.
Yeah, pee on the snowball, throw it, great.
But yeah, I'm quickly just going to mention what I've been playing before we wrap. What I've been playing. I did finish God of War, which is something that I was saying for a while. I've pretty much already talked about it already. I think it's spectacular. I think
done.
It's one of those things where, do you know when some people are like, I want to play a video game to show me what a video game in 2022 can do. I would probably show them God of War.
Wow.
Like, because I could show them Elden Ring. I could because but that might be too hard for someone that never played a game before.
It's very specific, Elden Ring.
In terms of like someone that hasn't really played video games and goes, show me a game that like blew me away. Yeah. I'd probably show them God of War because it has the action, it has the cinematics, it has the combat, it has everything you kind of want from a game. I do think it's a spectacular game. It has some flaws, every game does, but they were never big enough to really annoy me. Like,
sure.
I enjoyed it way more. If anyone has listened to this podcast previously, or if you've listened to all of them, then wow, that's amazing. I imagine ACP might be close to that, to be fair. I previously mentioned that it took me ages to beat God of War, like the original one. I just stopped starting it all the time. And then I finally sat down and finished it. I was like, oh, wow, that is actually really good. I had no issues with God of War Ragnarok. Started it, didn't stop playing it, finished it, and loved it. Oh,
that's a lovely feeling. Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, and considering as well, I only beat the original one like 2 months ago. It did feel, because that was the reason why I beat it, because I knew that God of War Ragnarok was going to come out, and I wanted to beat that. But yeah, crazy, but really enjoyed it. I've just got to beat Persona 5. That's still on my to-do list. I put 50 hours in. I think it's like 100-hour game, so I'm halfway there. But it is a long game, and I've got to read, because the Football World Cup is happening right now. I'm watching games all the time. I just have no time to even play that, which is elongating an already really long game. Yeah. But I will finish that. But yeah. All right, Dav, let's leave it there. Let's call an audible. That's what we're gonna do, and use a wrestling term. 1, 2, 3. Dav's pinned me. That's what I'm saying. He's now the champion of the world. Thanks.
Oh. Man, I feel bad, dude. Why did you go for the like? Why have you got the inferiority complex here?
Oh no,
me in that analogy.
Well, do you know? But sometimes a good story doesn't need you to be the hero. Sometimes a good story is a valiant effort and a sad defeat.
Oh, you're the heel. I always knew you were the heel.
Oh, I would love to be a heel in wrestling. This is a different topic for a different podcast. But I'd be such an annoying prick. Oh my god. Absolutely would. All right, let's call it that. Thanks, Dav.
All the
we'll
best,
see you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.